Star Wars Allegiance Issue 3 sees the Resistance members on Mon Cala arrested and brought before King Char, with Leia explaining it might be too late for the heroes to apologize. The king presents his verdict, saying that the Resistance has gone too far, and the Korans agree that the Offworlders are a danger. Rey tries to tell them that they didn't start the fight, but Leia quiets her as Aftab wants to know why General Nossar Ree's men were gathering where the heroes were docked. Ree tells him to watch himself as his father knew how to show respect, but Aftab says that he wouldn't respect hiding in the depths, hoping that the First Order leaves them alone. Leia tries to get the fighting to stop, telling the king that they need to work together to keep the galaxy free from tyranny that both the Mon Calamari and Koran fought against decades before. Ree continues to try and manipulate the sickly king, saying that they need to settle the debate with the ancient right of challenge. 3PO tells Yellers that it's a trial by combat, where the loser is fed 2 schools of Krakanas. Rey accepts the challenge, but Leia says that the challenge cannot be recanted if she fails. But Rey says that she won't let her friends suffer when she can do something about it, and besides, she's looking forward to beating the Quarren. Ree says that he won't be fighting, but his security droid RK9 will be. On the moon of Avidot, Kendo's crew cut through the door to try and get to Finn. Poe doesn't want Finn facing them alone, but Finn says that he's got more or less of a plan since they don't know Poe and BB-8 are there, so he will get them to chase them long enough so the Resistance weapons can be loaded onto their ship by Poe and he can come and get him. The bounty hunters finish cutting through the door as Poe and BB-8 remain quiet. Finn suddenly falls from his hiding spot as Remix confronts him, disarming the hero as Wuru fires his stun blaster, only it hits Remix, letting Finn escape as Kendo tells him to bring him in alive, and only then he can take out his aggression on him. At the sacred arena of Salkar, Rey fights the security droid RK9, dodging the lumbering droid, but she is kicked away since it is surprisingly agile for a security droid. The droid begins firing its cannons at her as she calls for everyone to get down. Rose tells Yellers it's not programmed to avoid bystanders, so it's firing wildly, telling Chewie that they need to help Rey out and aim for the core processor. Chewie knocks out his guard as Rey faces the droid, but before it can shoot her, Rose manages to blow its head off with the guard's blaster, apologizing to Leia for ruining negotiations. But Leia says that the warships aren't worth the cost of losing sight of what they are fighting for. Ree finds this all an outrage, and the king finds his assessment of the challenge to be correct, and now the Resistance must leave Mon Cala at once. Kendo meanwhile radios Basso and tells him to bring their ship around to keep an eye on Finn's ship. Poe and BB-8 meanwhile dash to the ship and load it as Finn runs into Wuru, taking on the Aqualish, but the brute is much stronger, causing Finn to run. Heading back into the hangar, Finn arms himself with an old snowspeeder tow cable gun, firing at Wuru, which hits him in the shoulder and pins him to the wall, but also knocks Finn out thanks to the recoil. At the Resistance base, General Jonado learns of several First Order warships heading towards Mon Cala, but they can't warn Leia thanks to the First Order jamming communications across the system. At Dak City, Leia and the Ellers return to their shuttle that will take them to the Falcon. Aftab is sorry that none of this worked out, but Leia doesn't blame him. A Quarren begins loading something into the shuttle, but Rey stops him, saying that it isn't one of their crates, but it's too late as the entire landing platform explodes. Star Wars Allegiance Issue 3 was a really fun continuation and penultimate issue of the lead into the rise of Skywalker. I actually really like that it looks like the Resistance aren't just going to be given the ships that they need and they have to work for them. Some of this stuff should probably have been in the film, since obviously not everyone who's going to see a film will read the comic and know where the Resistance got help from, but as someone who is reading the comics, I did enjoy seeing where the help came from, and I imagine it will be touched upon in the movie, and this is sort of explains it a little bit more. Finn and Poe's adventure has been loads of fun as well, and I love seeing them team up since they have great chemistry with each other, with them and BB-8 all working together to try and find weapons for the Resistance. It's loads of fun, and I'm hoping we get to see more of that in the final issue as well as the upcoming movie. I'm going to give this issue an 8 out of 10.